Have you ever wondered why, in a time when we're more connected than ever before, finding a genuine relationship feels harder than ever? We have dozens of dating apps, hundreds of profiles just one swipe away, yet instead of feeling closer, many men end up lonelier than they've ever been. The truth is, this isn't random. Modern dating isn't broken. It's a paradox. A paradox built on endless choices, curated online masks, and the culture of ghosting keeping us searching, but rarely finding. And if you've ever felt exhausted by endless swiping, surface-level conversations that go nowhere, or that sudden silence when someone just disappears without a word, you're not alone. In today's video, we're going to break down the modern dating paradox, why finding the one today feels so difficult, and more importantly, how you can finally escape it to build a relationship that truly matters. So why exactly does dating feel like an uphill battle for men today? Let's start with the very first trap of the modern dating paradox, what I like to call the apocalypse. On the surface, dating apps promise unlimited possibilities. Just swipe right, and the next great connection is only seconds away. But here's the paradox: the more options we have, the less connected we actually feel. Think about it. Endless swiping and carefully curated profiles create an illusion of abundance, yet instead of encouraging genuine engagement, they turn people into nothing more than a checklist of traits. It's the shopping cart mentality, scrolling through profiles like products on a shelf, always comparing, always wondering if the next one will be better. And in that mindset, investing in one real connection feels harder than ever. On top of that, we live in an instant gratification culture. If someone doesn't reply fast enough, if their vibe isn't perfect within the first 5 minutes, we dismiss them. We chase the thrill of the next best thing, instead of giving ourselves the chance to truly discover someone. The result, we confuse quantity with quality, and in the process, genuine intimacy slips further out of reach. But the paradox doesn't stop with dating apps, because even when we do connect with someone, we often fall into another trap, what I call the performance trap. In today's world, we don't just show up as ourselves. We curate, we polish, we edit. On social media and dating platforms, we create highlight reels of our lives, perfect photos, witty captions, filtered smiles. And while it feels good to present the ideal version of ourselves, there's a hidden cost: the gap between who we are online and who we are in real life. Here's the truth: the more we perform, the less we allow ourselves to be truly seen. Vulnerability takes a back seat. Instead of opening up about our fears, our flaws, our real emotions, we hide them, hoping that perfection will win someone's heart. But perfection is a mask, and when that mask eventually slips, as it always does, disappointment sets in. Unrealistic expectations collide with reality, and what started with sparks often ends in silence. The performance trap teaches us to impress, but never to connect. And that's why so many modern conversations feel shallow, like we're talking to a character rather than a human being. And even if we manage to break free from the performance trap, there's yet another paradox waiting for us: the paradox of independence. In many ways, this is one of the greatest strengths of our generation. Men today are more self-reliant than ever. We focus on building careers, financial stability, and personal growth. We value freedom, ambition, and the power to shape our own lives. But here's the twist: the stronger we become on our own, the harder it can feel to truly bond with someone else. Think about it: when you've worked so hard for your independence, the idea of compromise in a relationship can sometimes feel like a loss, rather than a partnership. Financial independence, personal ambition, and the rise of the single-by-choice narrative are empowering. But they can also send an unconscious message: I don't really need anyone. And yet, as human beings, we do. No matter how successful we are, no matter how confident we appear, we're wired for connection. The paradox is this: the more capable we become individually, the more difficult it sometimes feels to let someone in. It's like being a warrior who's conquered the battlefield, but returns home to find the house empty, strong on the outside, yet still longing for the one thing strength alone cannot give: a deep, lasting bond. And then, there's the final piece of the modern dating paradox: the ghosting epidemic. In the past, ending a relationship or even just saying you weren't interested required courage. It meant facing someone, speaking the truth, and risking an uncomfortable moment. But today, digital communication has given us an easy escape. Instead of confronting, we disappear. One day, the messages are flowing, the chemistry feels alive, and the next, silence. No explanation, no closure, just emptiness. Why? Because it's easier. A quick swipe, an unanswered text, and suddenly, we've erased someone from our lives as if they never mattered. But here's the hidden damage every time ghosting happens. It chips away at trust. It normalizes disrespect. It teaches us that people are disposable, and for the one who's ghosted, the impact is deep. You question your worth. You replay every detail, wondering what went wrong. And because ghosting has become so common, we begin to expect it, bracing ourselves for disappointment before we even get close. This epidemic doesn't just hurt individuals, it poisons the culture of dating itself. Because when disappearing becomes the norm, genuine connection never gets a chance to grow. So when you put it all together, the endless swiping, the performance trap, the struggle between independence and intimacy, and the ghosting epidemic, it's no wonder modern dating feels like a paradox. But here's the truth. I want you to hold on to, just because the game feels rigged doesn't mean you can't win. The rules may be flawed, but you don't have to play by them. If you want an authentic connection in today's world, you have to rewrite the rules, and that begins with a shift in mindset and behavior. First, choose quality over quantity. Stop chasing endless matches or racking up numbers. Instead, invest in fewer, more meaningful conversations. Give people a chance to reveal who they really are, beyond the swipe. Second, embrace vulnerability. That doesn't mean oversharing or being needy. It means having the courage to show your real self, even when it feels uncomfortable. Because true intimacy is built on honesty, not performance. Third, communicate boundaries clearly. Be upfront about what you're looking for. Respect yourself enough to voice your expectations, and respect others enough to listen to theirs. When boundaries are clear, respect flows naturally. These may sound simple, but in a world where surface-level connection is the default, they're revolutionary, and they can transform the way you experience dating. Because at the end of the day, love isn't about playing the algorithm, it's about two people daring to be real with each other. So let's take a step back and recap. We've seen how dating apps flood us with choices, but often leave us empty. We've uncovered the performance trap where curated perfection online makes real intimacy harder. We've faced the paradox of independence where strength and self-reliance sometimes make it harder to let someone in. And we've exposed the ghosting epidemic where disappearing has become easier than dealing with honesty. But we've also discovered the way forward: choose quality over quantity, embrace vulnerability, even when it feels risky, and communicate boundaries with clarity and respect. Because if you can shift just these few things, you won't just date differently, you'll connect differently. And here's the part I need you to really hear. If you're frustrated with modern dating, it doesn't mean you're broken, it doesn't mean you're unworthy, and it certainly doesn't mean love isn't possible for you. What it means is that you're navigating a system designed with contradictions, a system that teaches you to chase endlessly, to perform instead of connect, to stay strong alone but afraid to open up, and to vanish when things get tough. But the paradox doesn't define you. You get to choose differently. Because the truth is, authentic connection still exists. Real love still exists. And it doesn't come from playing the numbers game, or pretending to be perfect, or bracing yourself for rejection. It comes from being brave enough to slow down, to be seen, to be honest. It comes from showing up not as the flawless version of yourself, but as the real one. And when you dare to do that, you shift the entire game. Dating stops feeling like a battle. It becomes what it was always meant to be: two people finding something worth holding on to in a world that often feels like it's slipping away. So if this message resonated with you, if you've ever felt lost in the modern dating paradox, remember you're not alone, and you don't have to keep playing a broken game. Take these insights, apply them, and you'll see that real connection is still out there waiting for you. And if you found value in this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future content. I'll be sharing more strategies to help men not only navigate dating, but also become stronger, more confident, and more fulfilled in every part of their lives. Until next time, stay sharp, stay real, and I'll see you in the next video.